Dense foliage trembles as the grizzly bear steps into a tense confrontation. A single warning swipe is enough to make any challenger keep a respectful distance. Experience and the ability to read each situation help it maintain a lasting survival advantage. What enables the grizzly bear to stand firm against the unforgiving challenges of the wild? In the wild, a shared habitat rarely leaves room for two dominant predators. Grizzly bears and gray wolves often cross paths while competing for space, food, and the pressures of winter. In the mountains and forests of North America, a large food source quickly becomes the center of a tense standoff. A grizzly bear weighing around 600 pounds stands guard over its hard-earned meal. From the edge of the forest, a wolf pack of nearly 10 members catches the scent of an opportunity. Rather than confronting the bear directly, the wolves circle from the outside to draw it away from the food. As the grizzly's attention shifts, several pack members quietly move toward the remaining meal. The moment an opening appears, the wolves quickly take advantage of the opportunity. Despite its caution, the grizzly eventually loses patience with the pack's persistence. It pursues the decoy, leaving an opening for the wolves to move in. For a brief moment, the wolves' agility outweighs the bear's sheer strength, forcing it to share part of the meal. The balance shifts when the wolves become the protectors. Near a den where young pups are being raised, the pack no longer waits quietly for an opportunity. When a grizzly enters this sensitive area, the wolves respond together in a coordinated formation. The pack pressures the intruder to protect the next generation while avoiding unnecessary risks. Faced with the wolves' united response, the grizzly returns to the forest rather than extend the encounter. In the end, the confrontation shows that strength secures a position, while strategy creates opportunities for survival. The North American grizzly bear is an opportunistic omnivore, yet it remains a formidable predator when the opportunity arises. When facing deer species such as white-tailed deer and mule deer, it does not rely on the long-distance pursuits used by wolves. Instead, its advantage comes from explosive power, a keen sense of smell, and an exceptional ability to read the terrain. From late spring through early summer, the deer fawning season provides an important source of protein. Young fawns often lie motionless in the grass, relying on their spotted coats and stillness to avoid detection. Even so, that strategy is often challenged by the grizzly's remarkably sensitive sense of smell. As it follows a scent, the grizzly moves slowly along forest edges, through low shrubs, and across damp grass, It uses the wind, natural cover, and the landscape to close the distance without drawing attention. When the right opportunity appears, one decisive rush allows it to bring the pursuit to a swift conclusion. A healthy adult deer presents a far greater challenge. It can sprint at nearly 40 miles per hour, fast enough to stay beyond the bear's reach across open ground. For that reason, grizzlies usually focus on young, older, or otherwise disadvantaged individuals, especially when deep snow slows movement. This careful selection of targets is one of the grizzly's greatest survival strengths. In some deer populations, fewer than 40% of fawns survive their first year. As a result, grizzly bears help regulate herbivore populations and support the ecological balance of North America's temperate forests. Moose, scientifically known as alces, are the largest members of the deer family, living alone across the taiga, Alaska, Canada, and the wetlands of North America. Large bulls can weigh more than 1,500 pounds and stand over 6.5 feet tall at the shoulder, resembling living fortresses among deep snow and quiet waterways. For that reason, a moose is never a passive target, but a formidable opponent that demands careful planning from any predator. The grizzly bear is an opportunistic omnivore, powerful yet cautious when facing a healthy adult moose. If the moose remains alert, the bear avoids charging directly into its strongest defensive position. Instead, it studies scent, tracks, wind direction, and movement patterns while waiting patiently for the right opening. The balance begins to shift when a moose steps into muddy ground or a shallow stream to feed. Soft footing slows its long legs, making quick turns more difficult than on solid ground. At that moment, the grizzly lowers its body, closes the distance, and applies steady pressure with a decisive approach. The tension rises as a cow moose leads her calf through shallow water and dense reeds. The grizzly follows closely, watching every turn the mother makes to shield her young. Although a moose can reach nearly 35 miles per hour over short distances, a single delayed step can create a critical opening. The moment the calf drifts beyond its mother's protective position, the grizzly quickly turns that brief mistake into a decisive advantage. Across the valleys of North America, a grizzly bear's authority is defined not by territorial boundaries, but by its ability to hold a position. When the salmon run begins, shallow rivers become rich feeding grounds, drawing multiple bears into the same narrow corridor. There, an adult male holds the advantage through size, experience, and remarkable composure. At the water's edge, two male grizzlies move toward the same fishing spot. the larger bear does more than display its presence. It suddenly makes a short charge to claim the better position. Lowering its head, raising its shoulders, and lunging forward, it uses its body to pressure the other bear into stepping back. The tension reaches its peak when the distance between them narrows to only a few feet. In the end, however, careful energy management proves stronger than the instinct to confront. The pressured bear leaves the riverbank, giving up the prized location to conserve its strength. And avoid extending the encounter. Deep within the vast taiga, a mother grizzly leads cubs weighing less than 50 pounds as they face the approach of a solitary adult male. Although much smaller, she rises to stand between the newcomer and her cubs, gives a deep warning roar, and holds her ground with unwavering confidence. Faced with that determined line of defense, the male turns away, allowing the family to continue through the season. In the wild, survival does not always belong to the strongest. It belongs to the one that knows when to move forward, when to stand firm, and when to retreat at exactly the right moment. Like the moose, the elk is one of the most recognizable members of the deer family, thriving throughout North America's open woodlands. Its impressive antlers can span nearly 5 feet, serving as both a symbol of dominance and a powerful form of defense. For that reason, an elk is never an easy target for a grizzly bear. Once the pursuit begins, the elk holds the advantage through speed, quick reflexes, and rapid changes of direction. But if it is forced toward swift streams, slippery banks, or terrain with limited footing, that advantage can disappear quickly. With claws measuring about 4 inches long and exceptional mobility across rugged ground, the grizzly turns the landscape into part of its hunting strategy. If successful, the reward is a tremendous source of energy, enough to help the bear endure many demanding days. After months of waiting, the return of the salmon awakens the rhythm of survival for North America's grizzly bears. As thousands of tails churn the rushing streams, the once peaceful mountain forests become charged with anticipation. Adult male grizzlies gather at the waterfalls, choosing the highest, narrowest, and most strategic positions to maintain their advantage. For salmon, a waterfall is one of the greatest obstacles on the journey back to their spawning grounds. They leap repeatedly through the fast-moving current while the grizzly waits along the rocky edge, watching every movement. Rather than giving chase, the bear simply reads the direction of each leap, tilts its head at the perfect moment, and reaches out as the fish comes within range. During the peak feeding season, an adult grizzly can consume about 90 pounds of food each day. Every salmon helps the bear build the fat reserves needed for winter hibernation, while countless others continue beyond the falls, carrying on nature's cycle of reproduction. The moment they enter hunting mode, orcas turn the ocean surface into a field of intense pressure. They weave positions, taking turns to close in like a perfectly coordinated team. No space is left for the prey to find a way out of the encirclement. Powerful tail strikes erupt, churning the water white and disrupting the opponent's rhythm. Against such refined hunting strategy, which creature can truly withstand the orca? Sharks have long been seen as formidable predators of the ocean. With more than 500 species, they possess sharp senses, flexible bodies, and the ability to accelerate suddenly to capture prey in an instant. Among them, the great white shark stands out as a powerful hunter, weighing around 2,400 pounds. From the depths, it often surges upward to approach seals or sea lions with precision. Yet that position is not always absolute, especially when orcas appear. As one of the most intelligent marine mammals, orcas coordinate in groups and read situations with remarkable speed. They may rise from deeper waters, using the blind spot below to approach a great white shark. Once close enough, the group shifts from observation to controlling the direction of movement. With no wasted motion, one orca swims along the outer edge to draw attention. At the same time, another moves in from a concealed angle, creating a precise roll. This position triggers a natural state of immobility, reducing the shark's response for a brief moment. From that instant, the orca can access the most energy-rich part, sometimes in under 2 minutes. In the open ocean, group coordination and intelligence can at times surpass the instincts of a solitary predator. Unlike many fish that migrate seasonally, seals live and reproduce along coastlines or on ice shelves. They are exceptional swimmers, capable of slicing through cold water at speeds of about 22 miles per hour. Yet their key survival weakness lies in their near-total reliance on drifting ice floes, places that seem safe, but remain well within the watchful range of orcas. Beneath a seal's skin is a thick layer of blubber, rich in calories and fat. This valuable energy source helps orcas maintain body heat in icy waters. As a result, each seal represents not just prey, but a vital reserve for the entire pod's survival. After locating a target, 3 to 5 orcas align side by side beneath the surface. The group swims in parallel at speeds approaching 20 miles per hour, heading straight towards the ice floe before striking their tails in unison. A powerful, human-made-like wave surges across the surface, shaking the platform where the seal rests. From a calm, sunbathing state, the seal is forced to cling tightly to the cracking edge of the ice. Successive wave-washing surges gradually reduce the effectiveness of this natural shield. With a success rate that can reach nearly 80%, the orcas turn the environment itself into a highly effective hunting tool. Often referred to as the wandering artist of the ocean, the humpback whale is equipped with pectoral fins that can reach about 15 feet in length, used for navigation and defense. With its immense size, it forms a living shield around more vulnerable members of its kind. Yet when a pod of orcas appears, individual strength must contend with collective intelligence. To reduce that advantage, the orcas assemble in groups of up to around 30 individuals, dividing into multiple advancing formations. One group applies pressure from both sides, while larger individuals dive deep and strike upward from below, forcing the target off balance. The pace of the hunt is not rushed, but methodical, steadily wearing down every possible escape route. The humpback whale responds with powerful tail strikes and strong body rotations. The pursuit can extend for nearly 10 miles, where each breath becomes a test of endurance. In the vast open ocean, size remains formidable, but it is coordinated strategy that ultimately shapes the outcome. Under the bright sunlight, coastal sandbanks become an ideal resting place for sea lions after long, exhausting swims. Unfortunately, the natural world offers no truly safe refuge, as the ocean's most intelligent strategists always find ways to cross every boundary. When tides rise in temperate seas, powerful waves unintentionally become perfect launch platforms for these ocean hunters. Although sea lions are highly agile in deep water, their heavier bodies on land make them more vulnerable to attack. Using the momentum of the current, a massive orca accelerates to nearly 25 miles per hour and surges past the shoreline with remarkable precision. It closes in on the target before there is time to react. Then it pivots its body and uses the receding water to return to deeper depths, reducing the risk of becoming stranded. This is a deliberate stranding technique, one of the boldest hunting behaviors observed in orcas. At times, the target manages to escape back into open water, and the pursuit shifts into the deep blue. In response, the pod of orcas applies a blocking strategy, maintaining constant pressure that disrupts the target's rhythm and drains its energy. Sharp directional changes gradually become ineffective against their ability. In the open ocean, dolphins are masters of agile movement, often accelerating to around 25 miles per hour. But against orcas, that advantage is no longer absolute. These close relatives are not only stronger, but also capable of turning distance, formation, and patience into powerful tools. As their echolocation system pulses through the water, orcas quietly form a tightening perimeter from both flanks, funneling the pod into a narrowing corridor. Despite their impressive bursts of speed, dolphins gradually tire under the relentless endurance of their opponents. The circle closes bit by bit, isolating slower individuals from the group. With a single, well-timed surge, the water's force lifts the target briefly above the surface in an instant. The encounter comes to an end, leaving behind a lasting lesson in survival. Those that manage to escape are driven to merge into larger superpods, reinforcing their collective defense. For the hunters, it is a strategy refined and passed down through generations. As the ocean surface settles after powerful waves, a massive dark shape suddenly rises. It is a pod of orcas, apex predators at the top of the marine world. From big groups that specialize in hunting marine mammals to clans that target whales, each population carries its own identity. Through strong matriarchal traditions, survival knowledge is passed down across generations. That dominant position allows orcas to play a vital role in the flow of ocean ecosystems. In nature, immense size often serves as a shield against many dangers. Moving slowly through deep waters, the blue whale appears as the largest animal in Earth's history, reaching lengths of about 98 feet and weighing close to 400,000 pounds. Its vast mouth and a heart the size of a small car form a living monument in the ocean. Yet that scale can also attract some of the most intelligent predators. From a distance, black and white shapes glide silently through the water, signaling the beginning of a coordinated pursuit. It is a pod of orcas, following the whale along its long journey in search of energy for the group. As the formation tightens, the blue whale responds with powerful tail movements, attempting to create space and move away. But the situation becomes difficult to reverse. Each time the whale rises toward the surface, the pressure increases, turning access to air into a critical challenge. In the end, the ocean grows calm again after the encounter. A quiet order emerges. Even the largest presence does not always control the outcome. Beneath the water, at a depth of about 30 feet in the seas of New Zealand, the stingray glides like a flying disc, propelled by its broad pectoral fins. Its flattened body spreads wide like a living shield, with a wingspan reaching nearly 7 feet, allowing it to move with almost no sound. Its long tail, equipped with a venomous spine, serves as a warning to any potential predators. Even so, it still comes within the focus of some of the ocean's most powerful jaws. When facing a pod of orcas, those natural advantages are put to a critical test. Rather than attacking directly, they maintain a safe distance and carefully observe each movement of the tail. At the right moment, a precise surge creates hydrodynamic pressure, causing the prey to lose its sense of direction. In the demanding balance of nature, dominance is not defined by strength alone. It also depends on the intelligence to recognize and exploit the limits of an opponent. The grizzly bear is not only powerful, but also a symbol of the North American wilderness. Every step reflects instinct, caution, and an extraordinary ability to adapt. Deep within the forest, the grizzly's silhouette gradually disappears behind the cold, towering trees. Nature reminds every observer that true strength is always guided by awareness. If you enjoyed this journey, be sure to like, subscribe, and join for more adventures in the wild.